Hello and welcome to a Halloween special of LEGO Bootlegs. This is the Chinese Vampire Hunter pack. You got the famous Vampire Hunter here on the left. His Hong Kong name is Ying, and he is a famous actor who participated in a lot of vampire movies back in the 80s and early 90s until he passed away. Even though the movies weren't technically connected to each other, every time they hired him to be a vampire hunter in the movie. It's almost like having Christopher Lee playing Dracula in different movies, even if they're not set in the same timeline, or having Peter Cushing as Van Helsing in different movies, also not set in the same timeline. This is from WM brand, and this is set number WM1014. In this set you get the Vampire Hunter, as well as 6 vampires, Chinese vampires, so we call them the, if you want the Mandarin translation, it's the Jang, and the Cantonese that we call it'll be Guernsey, which just means like frozen body. But in English I would tend to call them the Chinese vampire because they hop around and they suck blood. There is an extra figure here that I got from another WM bundle of different figures, so that's something that I got. So every single figure here comes with a spare minifigure hand, as well as a plate, minifigure plate, a 3x4 plate underneath. As you can see here, let me just get them off the plate and zoom in. Every single one of these figures also comes with a spell. In Chinese tradition, what you do, you can't really kill a vampire not until later movies anyway. So what they would do is they can freeze a vampire, and they'll get a thin yellow paper, do a little spell and draw and write the spell onto the paper. You have to write it very accurately. If you don't write it accurately, it won't work. And then you stick it on top of vampire's forehead, and then they'll freeze. They will just stop moving. So what they would do is they would do that, and then put the vampire in a coffin, and then hopefully bury it deep down so that the vampire can't come out and attack people. But of course, something always happens, so we didn't have the movies. So every single vampire comes with one of these, and the vampire himself also comes with one of them, which, let's see, it looks a bit different. Yep, it's a different one, a different spell for the Vampire Hunter. He also comes with one of these plates, which is... it's like a fortune telling... No, it's like one of those little spell trap things. I'm thinking he'll put this on the ground or on the top of an archway, doorway or something like that, and it'll stop the vampire from walking or getting through, like a barrier, invisible shield. I can't remember, I haven't seen these movies in years. And he has a sword, which is one of those things that the Vampire Hunter also traditionally has, but the sword that he tends to have doesn't look like this. If you know what Chinese coins look like, ancient ones, what they would do is they'll get a bunch of those coins, because money equals good luck, I guess, because you're wealthy and all that. And you would tie that up and string them through with some red string, because red is lucky in Chinese, and then you'll string a sword out of those coins. And they'll use that to, when he cuts the vampires, there'll be little sparks going all the way, like, stand back, vampire! And stuff like that. So he's got that. So he looks very much like the actor. Why is that? Because he's got the right colored eyebrows, the right thick eyebrows, as well as almost having a monobrow. He doesn't, he's not supposed to, but this figure has a monobrow, but he almost has a monobrow in the movies and such. So this is surprisingly like him. But unfortunately, print quality on the hat, he's okay. The other copy I have, the hat print is a little bit smudged, but the color of the suit, the face and all that, it really sells this. If I show this to anyone in Hong Kong who's watched old movies, they'll say like, oh, that looks like the Vampire Hunter. They might not remember his name, but they'll see that and it looks like the Vampire Hunter. He's wearing this yellow robe there. And paint job wise, his shoes are painted on the side, not the back, but they have bothered painting his socks on the back, so okay, that's a thing. And the vampires, there are 6 of them in one set, 3 pairs of vampires. With the red one here, got some sort of traditional Chinese image or pattern printed on the clothing. Basically, all these classic Chinese vampires all look like they come from, I can't remember which dynasty they're supposed to look like, but they come from a long time ago, so they always look like this. They always have white skin, and they always have a little bit, because I have like a sort of a doll face going, you see little red cheeks. like they're painted and stuff. That's just how they look traditionally. Print quality wise, it's the image is a swan on her chest and some water in the moon, and I can still see what it is, but it's definitely a somewhat smudged printing. And the leg print can also do with a little bit better quality control because they're a bit out of place, and I'm thinking that's because they have to print the white underneath it first. So if the white smudges or the color smudges, you're gonna have a bit of problem either way. So, but overall you can still see what's going on here, so that's cool. And as for the vampires, I'm not too bothered about the vampires smudging just a little bit because, you know, they're like goons or monsters in the background. They don't have to be perfect. This one has a problem with the hat clutch. It keeps popping off, and so that's annoying. And let's see, this one is I'm guessing this one's a boy one because he's blue and he doesn't have girly eyelashes, and he also has the same like swan image, but it has a red moon instead, and the leg patterns and stuff are all the same. And then we also have a purple one. Purple one is also a female because it's got eyelashes again, and yep, same image, but just more purple going on. So pretty cool. So I do prefer these. Now the other vampires Chinese vampires I reviewed previously do look a bit better, but they have the slope piece for the feet, which I really don't like because you don't have leg movement and those pieces are often very loose. So what I like about these vampires is they have actual feet, so that's great. So, but the body and the head is not as nice as the other one. So what I would do is just take the legs from the blue ones, and then add that to the other vampires, just swap them around. That'd be great. So yes, if you like Chinese vampires or you like horror and monster movies in general and just interested of the Asian variety, remember you can search up Jang on Wikipedia, and there's a ton of Hong Kong and Asian movies with that kind of vampire going on, and they're pretty cool. Sleeping Dogs also had the horror expansion pack which had Jiangshis. They still hop around, they don't walk, these Jiangshis, but they also like hopping and jumping monsters in the video game just to make them more exciting. But in traditional movies, they're kind of like, I guess, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Like they walk really slow or just jog or walk fast, but then suddenly they're there. These vampires are the same. They hop really slowly, but just suddenly they're there. So it's pretty cool. So if you like these kind of monsters, these are pretty cool figures to have, and I'm glad that the Vampire Hunter figure does look like him. It's almost for me, it's like almost like picking up a Bruce Lee minifigure with a face that really looks like Bruce Lee. We did have one, but he didn't look that much like Bruce Lee, which is a shame. Oh well. Subscribe, suggest, and comment below, and of course, take care and have a nice day. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye now.